Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. Deontay Wilder put some serious pressure on Team Joshua and exposes the fact that he wants to fight. Take a look at this. Stay tuned.
What I want to address and try and put to bed once and for all is this Joshua fallacy.
I'll fight Joshua anywhere in the world. You can put us on Mars. When we colonate that, I'll be ready to fight him there too. I think Joshua is avoiding me.
They're going to do something else? Why? Why can't it happen next? They literally fought 1 week apart. Neither one of them's hurt. They're exactly on the same schedule.
Thank you.
That has been around long enough. Right. No, and you're right. Because Anthony Joshua doesn't want to fight this man right now. Okay, I'll give you that. Eddie Hearn doesn't want Anthony Joshua to fight this man right now.
When you look at me, I'm very confident in what I say. I'm confident in what I do. Joshua, he always plays the nice guy. And it seemed like his confidence isn't as high as a champion should be. You know, he's tried to play the humble side. He probably tried to play the good guy role. And to me, it looked like no confidence at all. Everybody else has this resume, everybody else has this build behind them, but when it comes to me, I gotta go through so much. I gotta go through so many loopholes, you know, so many jump so many hurdles just to have a fight. What have anybody else done? What have anybody else done? Nobody ain't done more than me. Nobody else ain't as scary as I. Nobody else is as dangerous of a fighter as I.
The fallacy is that Deontay, in some fashion, is avoiding Joshua. The bottom line is, if someone wants a fight against me, we are fine to fight in the UK, we are fine to fight in Vegas. In one of the more recent interviews with Eddie Hearn, why did you take such a risky fight? That's our business. You want to fight who you fight, fine. You want to try and dodge Deontay so you can pick up another payday? I know, no matter what is said, he doesn't want to fight now.
Everybody.
Anthony Joshua knocks out Deontay Wilder in every day of the week, including twice on a Sunday. I had a meeting with him yesterday, and he said to me, I have no problem with the fight. Have they made an offer? I said, well, no, of course not. We're going to be the ones making the offer, aren't we? He says, well, have we had a discussion about it? I said, no, not yet. He says, then what's he talking about? I said, look, he's using your name to hype himself up. He finds it hard to take Deontay Wilder seriously. His 16th fight, he fought Charles Martin for the World Heavyweight title. His 19th fight, he unified the division against Vladimir Klitschko. In Deontay Wilder's 19th fight, he was fighting an 8-rounder on an undercard in Cancun.
All right, Sugar.
When he won the world title and had a defence, Shelley Finkel said, Deontay Wilder is just a baby. He's still learning. We're going to have some voluntary defences, but it's too early for a unification fight.
What I want to address and try and put to bed once and for all is this Joshua fallacy.
Deontay Wilder says, what's up, mates? Anthony Joshua, and he also tagged Eddie Hearn. You guys should be rising over there soon. Good morning. Yo, listen, yeah? What's going on, mate? Did y'all forget I said yes, I accept the fight? Come to my backyard? Oh no. Please, I'll be delighted to come to England, etc. Look, we can go private with the rest. I had no choice but to contact you through via social media, because you guys are playing. Who's going to man up and answer the phone? Ugh, not me. Over there, shit. At least check your email. Team Wilder is ready to go, so don't ever say we didn't want it. It's time to make a man out of you. The time has come for you to face the one man you fear. By the way, Shirley Finkel and Al Heyman is waiting patiently. Talk to you soon, champ. Hashtag Bomb Squad. Hashtag Eddie Hearns. I'm so frustrated right now. Eddie Hearns don't want to fight. Listen, I told y'all, Deontay Wilder is new media. He's showing receipts to the people. Listen, I find it very funny, this whole situation. I like Joshua. I like Wilder. But guess what I like above and beyond them as individuals. The sport of boxing, Joshua versus Wilder, absolutely needs to happen next. And you heard Lou DiBella say it perfectly. He says, look at it. Look how Showtime's been building them. They have Wilder on the network, and then a few weeks later, they have Anthony Joshua, vice versa. Last year, Joshua fought first against, it was supposed to be Kubrat Pulev, and then he pulled out, so they replaced him with Carlos Takam. 76,000 plus people in attendance at that fight. Premature stoppage to me, but whatever. Joshua got the stoppage in front of all those people. And weeks later, Deontay Wilder fought his mandatory, took care of that. The only guy to go 12 rounds with him remains Hearn, and they were talking about hurting each other mortally, right? Hearn gets knocked out in the first round. Perfect timing, like Lou DiBella said. They just fought weeks apart from each other, and nobody's hurt, nobody's injured, God forbid. Why not make the fight? Then again, Showtime does it again for March Madness, where you have Deontay Wilder this time fighting first, March 3rd, against a dangerous Luis King Kong Ortiz. And I like how Finkel brought this up. He says, Eddie Hearn's talking about, why'd you guys take such a dangerous fight? He said, that's none of your concern. That's none of your business. We took the fight because we're confident in our fighter and our champ. So that's why. And they came out on top. A very dangerous Cuban. Once again, Google it. Luis Ortiz's amateur record is something around 349 wins and 19 losses. Something right around there. So he has plenty of amateur experience. He's a southpaw. He's dangerous. He's definitely was hungry because he felt this was his opportunity to show why he had been avoided. Wilder knocks him out. You know what I mean? It's not really Team Joshua's issue why they took it. And other people. I seen that Devin Haney's pops. He was like, man, Wilder, why'd you take that fight? That Luis Ortiz, that's not a good fight. And Wilder, he was hurt. It was a war in round 7. But he dropped his opponent. He never dropped. Showed true grit. Showed the heart of a champion. Heart of a lion. And he showed these Alabama boys, they got power. They're not going anywhere. It's going to take more than one great round to stop him and take that belt. Sophia. Weeks later, Joshua, he fights a unification with Joseph Parker. Beats him. You know what I mean? He kind of relied on the jab. Got the job done in front of another 78,000. Why can't we see Joshua Wilder next? I'm telling you, the walls are closing in because all of what's being said is not really making sense. You can't make sense of it. Both guys are saying they want it. Obviously, someone has to be telling the truth. So you can't have two people with conflicting stories saying, I'm both telling the truth. Somebody's story has to be embellished or whatever the situation. And the thing is, Finkel, Deontay Wilder's manager, also, he did an interview recently. Shout out to The Telegraph, which is a UK-based website. And Finkel outlined, he says, here, this is what we propose. 60-40 in favor of the guy with the more belts, the guy you guys said in the A side, who's the A side, fine. That's a fair offer to us. Then you have fans who are talking about, no, that ain't fair. He deserves 30%. Okay, well, why did Joseph Parker, who's less accomplished than Deontay Wilder, why did he get more than 30%? See, that's proof right then and there that a lot of you fans are afraid and petrified because you're talking too much crazy shit in the comment section, and you know if Wilder wins, all that goes out the window. All the windmill Wilder and your Yanks are bums and UK's taking over boxing and Wilder's windmill, he fought 40 bums. All that bum squad, you know you can no longer rely on that. That's why you do not want to see the fight. And I mean, I love what Wilder's doing. It's making me very proud to be an American and just happy to be a boxing fan because he's going after it. I will never fault a guy, win, lose, or draw, for going after what they feel is theirs, for staking their claim, you know what I mean? Taking their risk. A lot of people, you want to make fun of Rigondeaux for jumping up 2 weight classes and losing to Lomachenko. I don't make fun of him. I mean, he talked some shit and he came up on the short side. It's a competitive sport, but at the end of the day, he challenged himself. Same thing with Wilder. If he goes in there and if he were to lose to Joshua, right, then he was the one who was going after what he believed in. So I can't fault someone. But if he wins, then that's something different. the future is looking real bright for Wilder if he wins. So I can't be mad for someone hustling and going after it. So all these dead end excuses that I feel Eddie Hearn and others are making, they're not working anymore. You know what I mean? Joshua called out Wilder after the fight. I told you last year what the mantra this year is going to be. #LSI. Let's see it. Let's see it. Wilder saying he wants it. Joshua saying he wants it. Joshua said, they said, if you could fight anyone next, who would it be? He said Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury. Well, Tyson Fury, he's out of commission right now. You know what I mean? Because he's not fully in shape. The other thing is, Wilder brought up a good point in that breakdown. He's like, why does everyone have to do so little? Like, if Joshua fights Gerald Miller, his recent wins consist of people that Wilder has already beaten, knocked out. Johann Duhaupas, Wilder knocked him out years ago. Gerald Washington, Wilder knocked him out when he was undefeated. So, I mean, you can't justify these statements. So hopefully these guys get it done. The time is now. Wilder, he's on his Killmonger shit. Is this your king? Like, you know what I mean? He's going after it, and I can never be mad at someone for having that confidence. You need that type of confidence as a heavyweight. If you don't, you're gonna get slaughtered. Just how Wilder's talking about he wants to catch a body. Man, someone's gonna catch a body on you. You know what I mean? You don't want to be the one that ends up like this, so you got to be like that. Stavern literally said he was going to kill Wilder. You know what I mean? Everyone's mad at Wilder. Stavern said the same thing to Wilder.
Anthony Joshua, you know I'm coming for you. Ain't no need of talking about next year and the next year after that or 2020. 2018 is what you should be worried about. You said if the people want it, then you want it. Well, the people want it.
True words. The people want it. Let me know, does this fight happen? Again, for me, Eddie Hearn, he's doing some promoter tactics in there. He's saying that we don't believe Team Wilder. We don't really think that they want it. But he's been applying major pressure. Joshua says, soon I'll be ramming my jab down Wilder's throats. He said, bro, like, what the fuck? You gonna be ramming your jab down my throat? Ew. To be honest, that don't sound good unless you on some next level-ish. I guess I'll have to son you and teach you how a champion's supposed to talk. When they hear you, they shall also feel you. Church. You know what I mean? So, again, explain that. If you don't want him, then why is he constantly calling him out? You know what I mean? Why his offer is reasonable. See, it's just too many stories that aren't adding up. You can't say, Eddie Hearn can't say, oh, Team Wilder's not serious. They got to be serious with their demand. 60-40 is serious. That's a serious demand, because if you gave Joseph Parker, who has not accomplished what Wilder has accomplished, he doesn't have as much threatening power. He's not 6'7", so he's shorter. His wingspan is not 84 inches or whatever Wilder's wingspan is. You know what I mean? So all across the board, Wilder has more title defenses, better wins. Joseph Parker, yes, that was a unification. Yes, Charles Martin was a championship fight. But at the end of the day, Wilder's a WBC champion. And he's looking a lot more scary than those other guys. You know what I mean? Not saying Parker's a bad fighter, but guys like Charles Martin, he was unproven. Wilder, you know, he can get outboxed for several rounds and still turn your lights off. You know what I mean? So for that, he's always in any fight because he got that vibranium. And you can't say, oh, I don't believe him. I don't believe his team. Okay, then call their bluff. You know what I mean? Call them. Make the deal. Tell the public what's wrong with 60-40. Or, like I said, negotiations are negotiations. I don't really care about another man's money. 60-40 is a great starting point. Maybe you talk him down to 36.5%. But either way, the world knows around what you gave Joseph Parker, Wilder's done more than that. So you're kind of trapped. You kind of have to, like Eddie Hearn saying, oh, we have to overpay these guys. Well, you're going to have to overpay another guy if you really want to make the fight. The fans want it, and that's just what it is. But you cannot say he don't want it, and everything he's doing is indicating that he wants it. His manager says, I'll come to the UK right now. We'll come. You can come see us. Let's get this done. Send the contract. We'll come to the UK. There are no more excuses. New media, stand up. Ego Army, stand up. Again, y'all got to as real boxing fans, you got to stand up for something. And all these strawman arguments just simply aren't holding up. Can't say somebody don't want to fight you and then you're not calling their bluff. If you don't want to fight you, tell us what the problem is. How is Gerald Miller or Alexander Povetkin doing all the right things and so easy to negotiate with, right? But Wilder and his team are just so erratic, as Eddie Hearn calls it. So unreasonable. What are they doing? You know what I mean? Because they're a champion, because they're confident, because they're trash talking. Like, no one's buying it. It's just like a teacher. If you have a classroom with 30 students and the teacher is like, I need anyone to answer this question on the board. And Wilder's like, ooh, pick me, raising his hand and kind of jumping out of his seat. Pick me. I'll answer it. I know the answer. I've been studying. He said he's ready for your questions. He's ready for the test. He has the answer. And the teacher's looking around like they don't see anyone. None of the other students are stepping up like Wilder. None of them have accomplished what Wilder has accomplished. You know what I mean? And you see him raising his hand. Hey, pick me. And then you say, oh, no one has the answer. No, I got the answer. Pick me. I'm the Bronze Bomber. Pick me. Ooh. And he's raising his hand. And you're going to keep pretending like nobody in the class has the answer. Maybe them other students aren't ready. Maybe they haven't been doing the studying. Maybe they were talking in class. But you have one student who everyone believes in that says he has the answer. So let's see it. And then invite him up to the chalkboard or the whiteboard, the dry erase board, and see if he has the answer. It's that simple. But you can't say no one in the class has the answer and nobody's willing to do the work and get mad when you have someone who they look the part. He has his book open. He has his backpack. He has, you know what I mean? His clothes look neat and nice. So he looks very astute. He looks very studious. Plus he's saying he got the answer. Well, let's see it. Invite him up. Don't say no one in the class. No student has the answer for you when you're avoiding or not looking at him. You're looking past him and you refuse to pick on him. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Drop your thoughts. But to me, Team Wilder is kind of been exposing Team Joshua as far as what they've said. And another, to me, telltale sign is this. When Wilder's team's talking, Shelley, Finkel and stuff, they're not mentioning Dillian White and Povetkin and saying, oh, I got to fight mandatories, just like Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman, hey, you want to fight Errol Spence? Oh, I got mandatories. Oh, I got a tune-up. He's saying that. People are asking you about Errol Spence Jr. fighting the truth. They're not asking you about Danny Garcia rematch, Sean Porter, mandatories. But Keith Thurman is he's more worried about that, more concerned about that. Those things haven't been called through the WBC. You know what I mean? The same thing with Wilder. He has one belt. Joshua has the rest. But the WBC hasn't mandated that he has to fight Dillian White. WBC, they're a business too. You know, I was just in their offices a couple weeks back in LA. They're a business too. So why wouldn't they want to partake in one of the biggest heavyweight fights for undisputed since maybe Vitaly Klitschko and Lennox Lewis? You know what I mean? Joshua Klitschko. It goes up there in terms of importance. And I would say even more so than Joshua Klitschko, because Klitschko was coming off an embarrassing loss and a long layoff. You know what I'm saying? But you look at Lennox Lewis, he was a very respected champion, and Vitaly was on the way up. You know what I mean? So it's that type. Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, like maybe even better, because Mike Tyson had been to jail by the time he fought Lennox Lewis, and a lot of people consider him a shell of his own former self. Customato had died and things like that, right? See, I know my boxing. So again, the only person that I see mentioning other people is the Joshua side. Oh, we want to fight Wilder next, or Tyson Fury, right? Eddie Hearn's mentioned fighting Tyson Fury. Oh yeah, if he wants to come straight away, he can get the fight. You know what I mean? Because you like your chances in that fight, right? Why are you mentioning Dillian White, which hasn't been ordered by the WBC, more than you're mentioning? You're like, oh, there's world media going to be here. And Dillian White's going to be ringside. Yeah, but it's Joshua's fight night. And see all that, oh, he just wanted to wait and you don't disrespect him. Let him invite you in the ring. Well, he was there live and he came. See, this is what people forget. I'm on my Roy Jones stuff. New media, Ego's Army. Y'all must have forgot. Wilder was in attendance, working with Sky Sport, the same thing that you motherfuckers said you wanted, which, oh, this was a huge mistake. So he was at an even bigger fight. Wilder was at the bigger fight. Joshua Klitschko, fact. Joshua Klitschko set records, beat Carl Froch versus George Groves rematch, fact, right? 90,000 plus in attendance at Wembley, right? Bigger fight than Joseph Parker, and Wilder was at that fight. He didn't flake on Sky Sports. He actually showed up, and he was ringside. Guess what? After Joshua had a better performance by knocking out a legend like Klitschko in a back and forth epic fight, he didn't call Wilder up into the ring. He barely even, I don't even think he really mentioned him. You know what I mean? I got to go back, but I know he didn't call him into the ring. So what happened to all this? Oh, he made a huge mistake. He didn't make a mistake because he was at the bigger fight, and Joshua and Wilder's names had been linked, and he didn't invite him to that ring. So there was no guarantee that after the Parker win, he would invite him to the ring anyway. Telling you, man, it's just, like I said, just look at what people are doing. Smash the like button. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.